Chapter 1. Why I Need English. Hello, my name is Nancy. I am 21 years old. I live in a small village near Florence in Italy. My village is very beautiful. There are many old houses and small streets. We have flowers everywhere. Many tourists come to see our village. They take many photos. The problem is, I cannot talk to them. They speak English, but I do not understand. I live with my mama, papa, and my little brother Marco. My mama makes very good pasta in our small restaurant. Papa helps mama in the restaurant. Marco goes to school. He is 12 years old. We are a happy family. Our restaurant is very old. My grandpapa started it 40 years ago. Now many tourists come to eat here. They love our pasta and pizza. But it is very hard for me. I work as a waitress in our restaurant. When tourists come, they speak English. They ask me questions. They want to know about the food. They ask about the ingredients. But I cannot answer well. I only say yes or no or sorry, no English. It makes me feel very bad. One day, a nice family from America came to our restaurant. They had 2 small children. The children wanted pizza, but one child could not eat cheese. The mother tried to tell me this. I did not understand. I brought pizza with cheese. The child was sick. I felt very, very bad. Mama had to come and help. She knows some English words, but it was a big problem. After this day, I think a lot. I need to learn English. It is very important for our restaurant. It is important for me too. I want to talk to people from other countries. I want to understand them. I want to tell them about our food, our village, and Italy. Also, I want to use the internet better. Many good things on the internet are in English. I want to watch English movies. I want to understand English songs. I see many young people my age from other countries. They all speak English. They can travel easily. They can make friends from different countries. I want this too. My cousin Maria lives in Rome. She speaks good English. She learned it for 2 years. Now she has a good job in a big hotel. She talks to people from all over the world. She is very happy. She tells me, Nancy, you must learn English. It will open many doors for you. I think about my future too. Maybe one day I want to have my own restaurant. Or maybe I want to work in a big hotel like Maria. But for this, I need English. Many good jobs need English. Without English, it is very hard to find a good job in tourism. In our village, there is no English school. The nearest English school is in Florence. It is 30 minutes by bus. The school is expensive, but Mama and Papa say they will help me. They understand it is important for me and for our restaurant. So, today I made a big decision. I will learn English. I will study hard. I will practice every day. I know it will be difficult. I know I will make many mistakes. But I want to try. I want to be better. I want to help in our restaurant. I want to talk to tourists. I want to make new friends. I want a better future. This is my story. This is how my journey with English started. I will write about my progress, my problems, my happy moments, and my sad moments. I will write about everything I learn. I hope after 1 year I can speak good English. I hope I can help tourists in our restaurant. I hope I can make my family proud. Tomorrow, I will go to the English school in Florence for the first time. I am very nervous, but I am also excited. It is a new beginning for me. It is a big step, but I know it is the right step. I want to change my life. English will help me do this. Chapter 2. My first day at English school. Today is my first day at the English school in Florence. I wake up very early. It is 6 o'clock in the morning. I am very nervous. My hands shake when I make my breakfast. Mama gives me a big hug. She says, "You can do it, Nancy." I take the 7 o'clock bus to Florence. The bus is full of people. Some go to work, some go to school. I look at my phone. I try to remember some English words. Hello. My name is Nancy. Nice to meet you. I say these words again and again. The English school is in a big old building. It is near the center of Florence. Many people are going inside. They are young and old. They come from different countries. I hear them speak many languages. I feel scared. Maybe they all know more English than me. The school secretary is very nice. She speaks Italian and English. She shows me my classroom. It is room number 5. There are 10 other students in my class. They are all beginners like me. This makes me feel better. Our teacher's name is Sarah. She is from London. She has a nice smile. Sarah starts the class. She only speaks English. At first, I do not understand many things, but she uses her hands a lot. She points to things. She draws pictures on the board. Slowly, I start to understand some words. We learn easy things first. We learn to say hello and goodbye. We learn to say our names and ages. We learn numbers. We learn days of the week. It is like being a child again, but it is fun. Sarah makes us play games. We speak with other students. In my class, there is a girl from Spain named Anna. She is very friendly. We try to talk in English during break time. We make many mistakes. We laugh a lot, but it is good practice. Anna works in a shop in Florence. She needs English for her job too. At lunchtime, I eat my sandwich in the school garden. Some students are speaking English very well. I want to be like them. Sarah tells us they started 1 year ago. They were like us, beginners. Now they can speak well. This gives me hope. In the afternoon, we learn the alphabet. We learn to spell our names. We learn some easy sentences. I am from Italy. I live in Florence. I work in a restaurant. Sarah gives us homework. We must write 5 sentences about ourselves. On the bus home, I feel very tired. My head is full of English words, but I am happy. I understand some things now. I know how to say, "Hello, my name is Nancy. I am from Italy. Nice to meet you." This is good for the restaurant. At home, Mama and Papa ask me many questions. How was your first day? Was it very hard? Did you learn many things? I tell them about my day. I show them what I learned. I say hello and goodbye in English. Papa tries to say the words too. We laugh because his pronunciation is funny. After dinner, I do my homework. I write my 5 sentences. I am Nancy. I am from Italy. I live near Florence. I work in a restaurant. I want to learn English. I practice these sentences many times. I want to remember them well. Marco helps me. He knows some English from his school. He is a good teacher. Before I go to bed, I think about my day. It was a good day. Yes, English is difficult. Yes, I made many mistakes. But my teacher is nice. My classmates are friendly. I learned new things. I can say some English words now. Tomorrow, I will go again. I will learn more words. I will practice more sentences. Step by step, I will get better. This is just the beginning of my journey with English. I put my English book next to my bed. Tomorrow is a new day. Tomorrow I will learn more. I am tired, but I am happy. I close my eyes and think about all the English words I learned today. Slowly, I fall asleep, dreaming in English. Chapter 3. My first month. Small steps forward. 1 month has passed since I started learning English. Every day, I wake up early to catch the bus to Florence. Every day, I learn new words. Now I know many things. I can count to 100. I know the colors. I know the days and months. I know many food words. This is very good for our restaurant. Last week, something very good happened. A family from England came to our restaurant. They wanted to know about our pasta. Before, I would feel scared. But now, I can say simple things. I said, "Hello. Welcome to our restaurant." They smiled. They looked happy. I could tell them the names of our pasta. I could say tomato, cheese, meat, and vegetables. When they said thank you, I said, "You're welcome." It was a small thing, but I felt very happy. Sarah, my teacher, says I am doing well. Every morning in class, we practice speaking. We work in pairs. We ask questions. What is your name? Where are you from? What do you like? What time is it? At first, these questions were very hard. Now they are easier. I still make mistakes, but I am not afraid to speak. My friend Anna and I practice together every day. At break time, we only speak English. Sometimes we do not know the words. Then we use our hands or draw pictures. It is funny, but it helps us learn. Yesterday, Anna came to our restaurant. She spoke English with some tourists. I was very proud of her. I have a new notebook. I write all the new words I learn. Every night before bed, I look at these words. I try to remember them. Some words are hard to spell, some words are hard to say, but I practice every day. Now my notebook has more than 200 words. The internet helps me learn too. I found some good videos for learning English. They are for beginners like me. The people speak slowly. They use easy words. I watch one video every day. I try to repeat what they say. Sometimes Marco watches with me. He helps me with pronunciation. Mama and Papa see that I am changing. Now when tourists come to our restaurant, I do not hide in the kitchen. I try to speak with them. Sometimes I make mistakes. Sometimes I do not understand everything. But the tourists are always nice. They are happy that I try to speak English. In class, we are learning about jobs and daily routines. Now I can say, I wake up at 6 o'clock. I go to school by bus. I work in a restaurant. I study English. I go to bed at 11 o'clock. These are simple sentences, but they are important. They help me tell people about my life. Sarah gives us homework every day. Sometimes we must write small stories. Sometimes we must listen to easy English conversations. Sometimes we must read simple texts. It is hard work, but I like it. Every day I understand more. My cousin Maria called me yesterday. She was happy to hear about my English classes. She said, "Nancy, you are doing the right thing. Keep studying. Don't give up." She told me that in 6 months I will speak much better. This makes me happy. Some things are still very hard. When people speak fast, I do not understand. When they use big words, I feel lost. But Sarah says this is normal. She says we must be patient. Learning a language takes time. Next week, we have our first test. It is a small test about the things we learned. I am a little nervous, but I study hard. Every evening, I practice with my notebook. I write sentences. I say them out loud. Papa listens and says, "Brava, Nancy." One big change is in my dreams. Sometimes now, I dream in English. In my dreams, I speak English very well. I talk to people from all over the world. They understand me. I understand them. When I wake up, I remember that I am still learning. But these dreams make me happy. They show me what is possible. This first month has been hard work, but it has also been exciting. Every day, I learn something new. Every day, I become a little more confident. Every day, English becomes a little easier. Small steps, but good steps. This is my journey, and I am happy I started it. Chapter 4. New Challenges and Small Victories. Today, I want to tell you about my big test. Last week, we had our first English test. I studied very hard for it. Every night, I looked at my notebook. I wrote many practice sentences. I asked Marco to help me. He asked me questions, and I answered in English. The morning of the test, I was very nervous. My hands were cold. My heart was fast. But when I saw the test paper, I was happy. I knew many answers. We had to write about ourselves. We had to answer questions about daily life. We had to fill in missing words. We had to match pictures with words. When Sarah gave back our tests, I got a big surprise. I got 85 points out of 100. Sarah wrote, "Very good work, Nancy," on my paper. I was so happy, I cried a little. At home, Mama and Papa were very proud. They put my test paper on our refrigerator. But learning English is not always easy. Last week, a big group of American tourists came to our restaurant. They spoke very fast. They used many words I did not know. They asked questions about wine. I tried to understand, but it was too hard. I had to call Mama to help. I felt bad. I thought I was getting better at English, but this showed me I still have much to learn. Sarah says this is normal. She tells us a story about when she was learning Italian. She made many mistakes. People did not understand her, but she did not give up. Now her Italian is very good. This makes me feel better. In class, we are learning new things. Now we can talk about the weather. We can ask for directions. We can talk about food and drinks. We practice with role-play games. One person is a tourist. One person is a waiter. This is very good practice for me. Anna and I still study together. Now we meet on Saturdays in Florence. We go to a cafe. We only speak English. Sometimes other students come too. We practice ordering coffee in English. We talk about our week. We help each other with homework. It is good practice, and it is fun too. At home, I try to make everything a lesson. I put English words on things in my room: door, window, bed, chair. I change my phone to English. This was very hard at first, but now I know many phone words: settings, message, call, camera. I also started to listen to easy English songs. Sarah gives us songs with simple words. We listen and try to write the words we hear. My favorite is a song about days of the week. It is for children, but I don't care. It helps me remember the words. In the restaurant, some things are getting easier. I can take orders for pizza and pasta. I can tell people about the menu. I can understand when they ask for water or bread. When they say delicious, I say thank you. Many tourists give me tips now. They are happy that I try to speak English. Yesterday, something funny happened. A little English boy came to our restaurant with his family. He was learning Italian. He said ciao and grazie. I said hello and you're welcome. We both laughed. His mama said we were both learning new languages. It was a nice moment. Marco is very interested in my English now. He asks me to help him with his English homework. This makes me feel good. Now I am like a teacher too. When I don't know something, we look it up together. We are learning together. Every night, before I go to bed, I write in my English diary. Sarah says writing helps us remember new words. I write about my day. I write about things I learned. I write about funny things that happen in the restaurant. My sentences are simple, but they are in English. Sometimes I look at my old notebook from my first week. I see how much I have learned. Yes, I still make mistakes. Yes, sometimes I don't understand people. But I am better than before. I can say more things. I can understand more things. Step by step, I am learning. Next month, we will start learning about past tense. Sarah says it will be harder, but I am ready. I want to learn more. I want to tell stories about yesterday, last week, last year. I want to understand when tourists tell me about their trips. I want to learn everything. Chapter 5, Looking Back, Moving Forward. This month was very special. We learned about past tense in our English class. Now I can talk about yesterday. I can tell stories about last week. It is hard, but it is exciting. Every verb has a new form. I go becomes I went. I eat becomes I ate. I study becomes I studied. Some verbs are easy. Some verbs are very hard. Sarah made a big list of past tense verbs. We must learn them all. Every day, we practice 5 new verbs. We play games to remember them. My favorite game is Yesterday I. Each student must say what they did yesterday. If we use the right past tense, we get a point. Last week, I had my first long English conversation with tourists. They were an old couple from Canada. They asked me about Florence. Now I could tell them, I went to Florence yesterday. I studied English. I saw many beautiful buildings. They understood me. The woman said my English was good. I felt very proud. At home, I practice past tense with Marco. We talk about our day at dinner. I went to school. I played football. I studied English. Papa tries too. He says funny things like, I cooked spaghetti, but he says it with wrong pronunciation. We all laugh, but we are learning. In the restaurant, I can now ask people, did you enjoy your food? How was your day? Where did you go today? Many tourists tell me about their trips. They went to Rome. They saw the Colosseum. They visited museums. I understand more and more of their stories. Anna and I still meet every Saturday. Now we can talk about our week. I had a good week. I worked hard. I learned new words. Sometimes we make mistakes with past tense. We say I goed instead of I went. But we help each other remember the right words. Yesterday, something amazing happened. A family from Australia came to our restaurant. Their little girl dropped her toy under the table. I said, "Don't worry, I will help you." I found the toy and gave it back. The girl said, "Thank you," and I said, "You're welcome." Then I realized I had a whole conversation in English without thinking. It was natural. Sarah says this is very good progress. She told us, first you learn, then you think, then you just speak. I am starting to just speak sometimes. Not always, but sometimes. It is a good feeling. In class, we also learned about time words. Yesterday, last week, last month, last year, ago. Now I can say, I started learning English 5 months ago. I went to Florence yesterday. I studied past tense last week. These words help me tell better stories. My English diary is getting better too. Now I can write about what happened each day. I write things like, today was a good day. Many tourists came to our restaurant. I spoke English with them. They understood me. I understood them. I felt happy. Mama says she sees big changes in me. Before I was scared of tourists. Now I smile when they come in. Before I only said yes and no. Now I can have small conversations. Before, I never watched English videos. Now I watch them every day. Last Sunday, I did something brave. I watched an English movie. It was a simple movie for children. I did not understand everything, but I understood many words. I understood the story. I watched it 3 times. Each time, I understood more. Next month, we will learn about future tense. We will learn to talk about tomorrow, next week, next year. Sarah says it is easier than past tense. I hope she is right. But even if it is hard, I will study hard. I will practice every day. When I look back at my first month of English, I see how far I have come. Yes, I still have much to learn. But I am not the same Nancy who was scared to say hello to tourists. I am stronger now. I am more confident. I can speak more. I can understand more. Every day, I write one sentence about my dreams for the future. Today I wrote, "One day I will speak English very well." I believe this now. It is not just a dream. It is something I am making happen, step by step, word by word, day by day. Chapter 6. Dreams of Tomorrow. This month is very exciting. We are learning about future tense in our English class. Now I can talk about tomorrow. I can talk about my plans. I can talk about my dreams. It is easier than past tense. We use will or going to with verbs. I will study. I am going to work. It is like making promises to tomorrow. Sarah teaches us the difference between will and going to. We use going to for plans. We use will for promises or quick decisions. At first, it was confusing. But now I understand better. I can say, I am going to Florence tomorrow because it is my plan. I can say, I will help you when a customer needs something. In the restaurant, I can now ask people about their plans. How long will you stay in Italy? Where are you going to visit next? Tourists like to talk about their plans. They tell me about the places they will see. They ask me about places they should visit. I can give them simple advice. You should go to the Uffizi Gallery. You will like the Ponte Vecchio. Last week, a nice family from Canada came to our restaurant. They asked me about my future plans. I told them, I am going to study more English. I will work hard. Maybe one day I will visit Canada. They were very happy. They said, we will wait for you in Canada. It was a nice conversation. Anna and I made plans too. We are going to take the next English test together. It will be in 2 months. It is a bigger test than before. If we pass, we will get a certificate. We study together every Saturday. We say, we will pass this test. We hope we are right. At home, I practice future tense with my family. At dinner, we all say one thing we will do tomorrow. Papa says, I will make pizza. Mama says, I am going to visit my friend. Marco says, I will play football. It is good practice and it is fun. My English diary now has 3 parts. I write about yesterday, past, today, present, and tomorrow, future. Today I wrote, yesterday I studied hard. Today I am working in the restaurant. Tomorrow I will go to Florence. It helps me practice all the tenses. Sarah gave us a new project. We must write about our dreams for the future. I wrote, next year I will speak better English. I am going to learn more words. I will help more tourists in our restaurant. Maybe I am going to visit London one day. I will never stop learning English. Something funny happened yesterday. A tourist asked me, will it rain tomorrow? I looked at the sky and said, no, it will be sunny. Today it is raining. Sarah laughed and said we can't always predict the future, even in English. The most exciting thing this month is our class project. We are going to make videos about our future plans. Each student will talk for 2 minutes in English. I am nervous, but I am practicing hard. I will talk about our restaurant. I am going to explain my dreams about making it better. Marco helps me practice for my video. He holds his phone like a camera. I stand in front of him and talk. Hello, I am Nancy. I work in a restaurant in Italy. I am going to tell you about my plans. Sometimes I make mistakes. Sometimes I forget words. But I try again and again. In class, we also learned words for time in the future. Tomorrow, next week, next month, next year, soon, later. These words help me talk about when things will happen. I can say, I will go to class tomorrow. We are going to have a test next month. Soon I will speak better English. My cousin Maria called again. She asked about my English. I spoke to her in English for 5 minutes. She was surprised. She said, "Nancy, you are going to be really good at English." Her words made me very happy. Every night before bed, I think about my progress. 6 months ago, I could not speak English. Now I can talk about yesterday, today, and tomorrow. I can understand tourists better. I can help them more. I feel stronger and more confident. Next month, we are going to learn about questions. Sarah says it will be very useful for the restaurant. I am excited. I will learn to ask better questions. I will understand answers better. Every month brings new things to learn. Chapter 7. Learning to ask questions. This month is very special for me. We are learning about questions in English. There are many types of questions. What, where, when, who, why, how. Each word helps me ask different things. It is like having new keys to open doors of conversation. Sarah teaches us that English questions are like puzzles. We must put the words in the right order. We need helper words like do, does, did. At first, it was very confusing. Do you like pizza? Where did you go? When are you leaving? But now I practice every day, and it is getting easier. In the restaurant, questions are very important. Now I can ask customers, "What would you like to drink? How would you like your pasta? Do you want cheese on top? Is everything okay with your food?" The tourists understand me better now. They smile when I ask questions correctly. Last week, something wonderful happened. A family from England stayed in our village for 3 days. They came to our restaurant every night. On the first night, I could only ask simple questions. But by the third night, we had real conversations. I asked them about their trip, their home, their children. They asked me about my English studies. It was my longest English conversation ever. Anna and I practice questions together. We play a game called 20 Questions. One person thinks of something, and the other person must ask questions to guess what it is. Is it big? Is it in this room? Can you eat it? Do you use it every day? It is fun, and it helps us learn. My English diary now has many questions. I write questions I want to ask tourists. I write questions I hear in class. I write questions I see in my English books. Every night, I practice reading these questions out loud. Marco says I sound more like a real English speaker now. Sarah gave us homework to write questions for different situations. For the restaurant, I wrote, "Would you like a table for 2? What would you like to order? How was your meal? Would you like dessert? Do you need anything else?" For making friends, I wrote, "Where are you from? How long are you staying in Italy? Do you like Italian food? What places have you visited? Would you like to meet again?" The hardest part is remembering all the question words. Sometimes I say, "What time you will leave?" instead of, "What time will you leave?" Sarah says this is normal. She tells us to listen to how English speakers ask questions. Now I pay attention when tourists talk to each other. In class, we did role-play games. One student was a tourist, one was a waiter, and one was a local person. We had to ask each other questions. At first, I was nervous, but then it was fun. I learned many useful questions. Can I help you? Are you looking for something? Have you tried our special pasta? Papa is very happy with my progress. He says more customers write good reviews about our restaurant. They write that the young waitress, me, speaks good English and is very helpful. This makes me very proud. My questions help make their time in our restaurant better. Yesterday, a tourist asked me a difficult question. "Why did you decide to learn English?" I could answer. I told her about our restaurant, about the tourists, about my dreams. She understood everything. Then she asked more questions, and we had a long talk. It was amazing. Next week, we have another test. This time, it is about questions. We must write questions for different situations. We must also answer questions about a story. I am not nervous this time. I practice questions every day in the restaurant. It is like having a test every day. My cousin Maria says questions are the key to good conversations. She is right. When I ask good questions, people tell me interesting things. When I understand their questions, I can tell them interesting things too. It is like building bridges between people. Every night before I sleep, I think of new questions I want to ask. Questions about other countries, questions about different cultures, questions about life in other places. Now I am not afraid to ask. Now I want to know more about everything. Chapter 8. The Big Test. This month is very important. We have a big English test. It is different from our small tests. This test will show how much we learned in 8 months. Sarah says it is like taking a picture of our English level. Every day, I study very hard. In the morning, I wake up early to review my notes. On the bus to Florence, I listen to English podcasts. In class, I ask many questions. At night, I practice with Marco and Papa. Even in my dreams, I speak English. Anna and I study together more now. We meet 3 times a week. We practice everything: speaking, listening, reading, writing. We help each other remember grammar rules. We correct each other's mistakes. We are good friends now, not just study partners. The day of the test comes. My hands are shaking. My heart is beating fast. But I remember all the tourists I talked to. I remember all the conversations I had. I remember how much I learned. I take a deep breath and start the test. The test has 4 parts. First, listening. I hear people talking about their daily life. I understand most of it. Second, reading. I read stories and answer questions. The stories are about travel and food, things I know well. Third, writing. I write about my life and my dreams. Fourth, speaking. I talk with the teacher about my family and our restaurant. 1 week later, Sarah gives us our results. I pass. I get a B grade. Sarah says this is very good for 8 months of learning. She says I am ready for the next level. When I tell Mama and Papa, they cry happy tears. They say they are very proud. Chapter 9. A Special Guest. After the big test, something amazing happens. A famous food writer from America comes to our restaurant. Before, this would make me very scared. But now I feel ready. The food writer speaks English very fast. But I understand most of what she says. She asks many questions about our food. I explain about our pasta, our sauces, our old family recipes. Sometimes I make small mistakes, but she understands me. She stays for 3 hours. She tries many dishes. She takes pictures. She writes in her notebook. At the end, she says something wonderful. I had a lovely time. Your food is excellent, and your English is very good too. 2 weeks later, she writes about our restaurant in a big American magazine. She writes nice things about me too. This makes me think about my journey. 9 months ago, I could not say hello to tourists. Now I can talk about food, family, life, and dreams. I can answer questions. I can tell stories. I can help people. English is not just words anymore. It is part of who I am. Chapter 10. Looking back, looking forward. It is 1 year since I started learning English. When I look back, I can hardly believe how much has changed. I remember my first day when I was so scared. I remember my first English words. I remember my first conversation with tourists. Now, our restaurant is busier than ever. Tourists come from many countries. They feel welcome because I can talk with them. I can tell them about our food, our village, our culture. I can answer their questions. I can help them have a good time. My English is not perfect. I still make mistakes. I still have much to learn. But I am not afraid anymore. Each mistake helps me learn. Each conversation makes me stronger. Each day brings new words, new friends, new opportunities. Mama and Papa are very proud. They say I changed our restaurant. Now we have many good reviews on the internet. Tourists write about the friendly waitress who speaks good English. Some tourists come back again and again. They remember me, and I remember them. Anna passed her test too. Next year, we will study in the advanced class together. We talk about visiting London or America someday. Now these dreams feel possible. English opens many doors. Last week, a little girl came to our restaurant with her family. She was learning English too. She was scared to speak. I told her my story. I told her, 1 year ago, I was like you. Keep trying. Keep learning. Never give up. She smiled and said, "Thank you," in English. When I think about my future now, I see many possibilities. Maybe I will work in a big hotel like my cousin Maria. Maybe I will travel to English-speaking countries. Maybe I will make our restaurant even better. With English, I can do many things. But the biggest change is inside me. I am stronger now. I am more confident. I can talk to people from all over the world. I can share my thoughts, my feelings, my dreams. English was not just about learning a language. It was about finding my voice. To everyone who wants to learn English, I say, start your journey. Yes, it will be hard. Yes, you will make mistakes. But every day you will get better. Every day you will grow stronger. Every day you will get closer to your dreams. This is not the end of my story. It is just the beginning. I will keep learning. I will keep growing. I will keep dreaming. Because now I know something very important. With hard work and courage, anything is possible.